Hey you, yeah, you watching this right now. If you don't click the like button in the next 6 seconds, you're gonna get stung in the nose by a giant scorpion. Hey, hi, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Fortnite in first person. Ever since Fortnite Battle Royale released, I have been a big proponent of adding a first person mode. Literally the first thing I said when I played Fortnite was, wow, I really wish this was in first person instead of third. And I was kind of expecting Epic Games to come along and add in a first person mode like most BR games. A lot of them are third person and first person. Just look at PUBG, you can play third person or you can play first person. And I like that, because not everyone is the biggest fan of third person shooters. Like myself, I would much rather run around in sexy, sweet looking first person. And there's been a lot of cool mock-ups of what Fortnite could look like in first person, like this one right here, which is my favorite. This one's been floating around for a couple years now. I'm sure you've seen it. It's definitely the best, highest quality rendering of what Fortnite would look like if it was in first person. Now, whenever I bring this up, people on the internet are like, Izzy, listen, you dummy. Fortnite is in third person for one reason, building. You couldn't build in first person, you stupid. And listen, okay? Listen up, internet peoples. That's where you're wrong. It might actually sound like it would be hard to build in first person, but it's not, and I can prove it. Did you know that in Save the World, there is actually a first person view? I know, most people don't play Save the World, so you would have never known this, but in Save the World, you can actually play in first person. Now, it's got some limitations, the main one being that when you're in first person view, you can't see your weapon or your harvest tool, your pickaxe. You don't see any of that. So it looks a little funky, but it is a nice, sort of demo of what first person could potentially look like. And building in it actually isn't that hard. I jumped into Save the World for like the first time in the past 2 years just to try this out for you guys, to do some building, and it really wasn't that bad. I was surprised by how easy it was to build in first person. I was able to do 90s, I was able to edit kind of okay. The biggest problem with editing in Save the World is that there's no custom controller layout, so you can't have instant edit and stuff if you play in a controller, so that was a little wonky. But I'm assuming normally, first person editing wouldn't be that bad. So this completely disproves the whole, Izzy, listen, you can't build in first person, it would just be too hard. Yeah, nope, negative Nancy, it's not that hard. In fact, it was kind of easy. And one of the coolest things about playing in first person is that it totally changes your perspective of how big things are in Fortnite. When you're in third person, you're actually pretty far away from your character, and it sort of distorts how big things really are. But when you're in first person, everything in the game just feels so much bigger, and I can't help but think this would be amazing in BR, like a true first person. Of course, one where you could actually, see your weapons. That would be nice. But even if you couldn't, just playing like this alone would be really fun. Myself, I'm not a big fan of most third-person shooters. I like Fortnite because it's awesome, but if I had my choice, I would almost always go with a first-person shooter. And I think this goes to show that it really isn't that hard to build in first person, especially if you had some practice. This is me playing when I just sat down to do it. I've barely played it like this ever, and it was super easy to pick up. It wasn't weird. It didn't feel clunky. If anything, kind of felt smoother and more natural than playing in third person. Now, I know not everyone is the biggest fan of first person, and that's okay, to each their own, but I'm sure if they ever added in a first person mode, they wouldn't take out third person. That would just be dumb and they wouldn't do it. So why not have both? Now, here's the thing that gets me. They used to do regular dev updates on YouTube when Fortnite first came out. The devs would sit down, they'd answer questions from the community, and in one of these updates, one of the first ones, they brought up the topic of first person. And they said they had no plans of doing it right then. This was a couple years ago, but they wouldn't completely take it off the table, and they'd come back to it at some later time. Well, listen, Epic, this is that later time. There's no better time than right now to add in a first person mode. It would definitely make people want to play the game more. I would want to play it more. I already play a lot of Fortnite, but I would play even more Fortnite, which probably wouldn't be healthy, but I'd do it anyway because that would just be awesome. And it would definitely, take some players back from Apex, because some people just don't like third person. Some people, they just don't like it, they'd rather play a first person game, which is why they don't play Fortnite. So it might help bring in even newer players. A whole new audience might show up to play the game if they could play in first person. Now, if they coupled releasing first person with a new map, the game would explode to new levels of famousness. It would just be really big, okay? Sometimes I just can't spit words out. But yeah, guys, there it is. Fortnite in first person. I think it has proved without a doubt that you can build in first person. It's not even that hard, so there's really nothing stopping them from introducing Fortnite in first person. I really do feel like it would breathe a whole new breath of life into the game and might bring in some new players, and personally speaking, I would love the absolute living crap out of it. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would like Fortnite in first person. Is this something you've been wanting? Are you not a fan of first person games? Let me know. I would like to get a debate going or a conversation started down in the comments. If you have a different point of view than me, that's totally okay, but let me know why, you know? I'm interested to see everyone's different point of view. Also, completely unrelated to today's video, but I'm super excited about it and I can't not talk about it anymore. Fortnite added the pump back in. Thank you, Epic Games. The pump shotgun is now back, baby, and we can one pump people to the face, and it's just gonna feel so good. It was gone for weeks, and I'm not gonna lie, I was having a little bit of separation anxiety from my pump shotgun, but it is now back. Yes, I'm not lying. This is 100% true. The pump is now back in the game. I'm sure you probably knew this by now, but just in case you've been living under the rock for the past 48 hours, the pump shotgun is back, and I'm so excited because, God, I love the pump, and not having it in the game really sucked. Are you happy about this, guys? It's just me? Because when I woke up and I read that the pump was back in the game, I jumped out of bed and I was like, hallelujah! And I did a little dance in my underwear, and I was a really happy camper. So let me know down in the comments, are you happy? Give me some hype down there. I hope you're on Team Pump. I want to see some mad pump love in the comments because it's back and it's gonna be awesome. Okay, enough pump hype. Let's get back on topic for today's video. First person Fortnite. Now this is a little out there, okay? But I was thinking, if they add in first-person mode, why not add in first-person mode without building? Hear me out for a second. Fortnite has gotten crazy competitive, and a lot of people have stopped playing the game because it's so damn hard. You have to dedicate a huge amount of your life to the game if you want to stand a chance even a little bit at winning a match. You have to grind Fortnite all day, all night, like these kids have been doing. You gotta crank 90s, you gotta have perfect edits, your flick shots have to be beautiful. You really have to try a lot, right? Like, Fortnite is no longer a casual game. It's impossible for a casual player to sit down and have a good experience. So, if they added in first person, why not add in a non-building mode where you could run around and play Fortnite a lot like you would play H1Z1 or PUBG or Apex or any other battle royale? Now, I know what you're saying. Izzy, Fortnite is only cool because of building. And you're right, it is cool because of building. That's a major feature of the game, but it is really difficult and it has created a pretty large skill gap. And I know there's people out there that would genuinely love to play the game if it didn't have building. And if you threw in first person, it really wouldn't be the same game anymore, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't be fun. And I feel like it would open the doors for a whole new audience of players to start enjoying Fortnite like the rest of us are. I know I hit you guys with a lot of stuff in this video and I've asked for your feedback several times, but what do you think of Fortnite without building? Do you think that will be fun? I personally really enjoy the grounded L team when they've added it, where you only have a few mats. You get like, I don't know, maybe 80 total materials to build with. So you can't really build fight. You got to stay on the ground. You got to be more tactical with your positioning. You can't sit there and turbo build if someone's spamming you. So you really have to think out your plays before you do them. I thought that L team was awesome. I loved it. I played it a lot when it was in the game. But what do you guys think of Fortnite without building? And then on top of that, Fortnite in first person mode. I really do like your guys' opinions and your feedback, but sometimes, you know, you're not a big fan of my ideas and you guys hit me with counter arguments or counter suggestions that, you know, change my point of view and my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to show off Fortnite in first person, showing that it is totally possible to build in first person. So there really isn't a lot standing in the way of Epic Games potentially someday maybe adding first person mode. So Epic, if somehow you're watching right now, please, pretty please, add Fortnite first person mode. I would love you. I would buy you all cookies and take you out for an ice cream sandwich or something like that. Just please, I would love it. And yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you have a great day. If you're new, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch videos in the future. If you haven't, click that like button too to help out the channel. And yeah, guys, I'm out. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.